Hi viewers, this is Terminal Crazy with Ausdotes.com. This week I've been mucking around with heroes whose abilities amplify the damage taken or given by other heroes. Very important for characters who rely on magic damage to keep up with physical carries. This guide is for newer to intermediate players. Now these two heroes have a lot in common. They put out a ton of magical damage, their skills can control your enemy's positioning, and they are both in desperate need of a new character model. They also have a common weakness. They are very fragile if you get up in their face. So how do we make sure that doesn't happen? Pugna and Leshrac have skills that do magic damage in an area of effect, which at the very least allows them to harass the other side while racking up creep kills. The damage from these, however, is not enough to nuke the other team out of lane on its own. With a bit of timing precision, you can boost this damage up with Decrepify. When an enemy is decrepified, they take 50% more magic damage, even at level 1. It also has a crippling slow, helping you land Nether Blast and Split Earth, and keeping the enemy in range of your ultimates and your Nether Ward. To give you a rough idea, if you land all your nukes on an enemy at max level, you'll do a total of 885 damage before reductions. Decrepify them, and that goes up to 1327. That makes a huge difference in the mid game. It's important to note that while Decrepify doesn't amplify pure damage, it does let it through. Decrepify is a big boost to any magical nuker, but here's why I like running Leshrac with Pugna. If Pugna doesn't initiate with Decrep, Leshrac can start things off with a Split Earth, locking someone down to stack all your other spells on top of them. Lightning Storm has a crazy short cooldown for constant harassment, and because it can jump down the creep wave, its total range is very long, letting you sit right back in safety and still nuke the enemy heroes. Because you both have so much area denial, you can set up a defensive position and cover your team's escape if things go wrong. The main bromance between these two though is that they can both nuke down buildings. Leave them alone with a tower for a few seconds and it's reduced to rubble without even having to stand too close, leaving you time to run away in case of TP rotations. So what items to build on these guys? Picking up an E-Blade Dagon is a hilarious choice for huge burst damage, but you're only going to get that much farm in games where you've already won. So for serious builds, I'd go Treads, Drums, Atos on Pugna, and Soul Ring, Yule's BKB on Leshrac. I've never found myself running out of mana after the first few minutes, and these items give you the survivability you need. Yule's is great for finding a victim, and Atos is good to make sure that they don't escape. Bloodseeker used to be known as Pubseeker, Scrubseeker, etc. The old Rupture and an infuriating 9-second silence, making it very unsafe to go anywhere on your own if your team wasn't communicating. The changes in patch 6.82 neutered this predator style of playing Bloodseeker. It was suggested that he be played as a support early on, but his new skill set just isn't suited to it. The guy needs some items, but then he's not very good at farming them. However, a balance can be struck if you team up with certain heroes to carry your team through the mid game. I like Lich for this, as he can keep up a constant stream of spells with buff damage thanks to Blood Rage. Blood Rage, as I'm sure you know, amplifies all damage given and taken by the target, including skills and items. Problem with using this on yourself as Bloodseeker is that Bloodrite and Rupture are pretty easy to whiff, resulting in your imminent death. So the compromise is to run a lane where Bloodseeker farms happily away, while a long-ranged hero like Lich sits behind him and provides artillery support, buffed by Blood Rage, while being out of range of the repercussions. Having the enemy constantly be missing health buffs Bloodseeker's damage and move speed, giving him a much stronger lane presence. And if you see the opportunity for a kill, you can switch Blood Rage onto the target. And once the team start brawling, Lich's already scary ult becomes pure terror. Every bounce does 40% more damage, and the sooner your enemies are at low health, the sooner Bloodseeker can mop them up. Even if you don't get a single bounce from the ult, you can do 938 damage to a single target with level 1 ulti plus your nuke when you're Blood Raged. An alternative partner would be Lina. She has 3 strong nukes that all get buffed by Blood Rage, even after buying an Ag Scepter and changing her ult to pure damage. Lina's long range attacks and spells let her fight from behind the battle line, and the small window of time where Lina can one-shot people gets much wider. So that's my theory of using a symbiotic nuker with Bloodseeker to help him through his weak laning phase. Please join me next week for a look at heroes who can dive deep behind enemy lines, getting early kills under the tower. Thanks for watching, friends. Subscribe for more content weekly from Ausdotes.com and check out our Requiem and in-house compilations.